Today we are here with the Minister of Human Settlements, together with other dignitaries. Here in front of us, we are going to start from the bottom to the top. We have here the representative from the Net Bank, the executive head, Mr. Katleho Mukhasi. Can you greet the people? We also have Usis Figile Sefigile from the Old Mutual Foundation, Ukona with us. We have also board chairperson, we're Habitat for Humanity SA, Utatu Banzi. The executive director for the Habitat for Humanity, the man that we've been working with for the past 3 weeks, Utatu Cyrus. We also have the representative from the community who's part of the community committee. Greet the people back. We have also Umama that I know, Ukba, all of you, you know who she is, who is coming. Okay. We have Umama that you all know, who is also coming from this community, Sis Janet. Sis Janet has been with us on the trenches for the past 3 weeks. I thought Sis Janet, as a ward councillor, you were going to have Izandes more than other people. Maybe something is with you find. Can you clap for Sis Janet again? Yeah, of course. Yeah. And also we have, before we go to the minister, the deputy chairperson of the African National Congress in this Johannesburg, Utatu Moda. And then we got amongst ourselves the acting deputy director general from the National Department of Human Settlements, Umamu Ngongo. And then we've got with us Deputy Chairperson of the board, yes, HDA, Umamu Tumago, Pagama Bakbonema. Minister, I was telling the Deputy Chair of HDA that the President has helped us to take the mask off. I'm seeing here for the first time. We've been meeting through the mask, so I was celebrating the day. Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. And then also we've got the CEO for the HDA, Housing Development Agency, Ubabu Kenis. And then we have the advisor to the minister, Ubabu Siya. And then we have all the wonderful volunteers from different communities. And then you have me. Thank you very much. And then lastly, we've got it's our honor to have the National Minister for the Department of Human Settlements, Umamumuloko Kubayi. Minister, without wasting any time, today's event is the culmination of a partnership between the government, the NGOs, and the community. You have here the volunteers from different corporate companies, your Old Mutual, your Henkel. I've been struggling with this Henkel, Minister. I wanted to pronounce something else, and then they kept on saying, no, it's Henkel. And then I was saying something else. They say, no, it's Henkel. So it's Henkel, Old Mutual, and Net Bank. We have also their volunteers. We've got also their leaders. And then also we've got representatives from the province, as well as the National Department of Human Settlements. But mostly we have volunteers from the wonderful community of Orange Farm. Can you give yourselves a round of applause? I know he's not part of the program. We have my old friend, Minister, that I just discovered that we've been at the same place at the same time about 21 to 24 years ago. And we just reconnected. We were together at Love Life. the guy who was also a pioneer, and also the brother who was very passionate about Orange Farm, who's also having an interest on the young people's development. And 2 months ago, he had a very big event that took place in this community of Orange Farm. Ubudim Caesar, let's welcome you as well, Babs. Without any further ado, let me give the word councillor to welcome us all.
Dumelang community ya Orange Farm. Le kinana re le thabile haholo ka shekulena ho bona di sponsors tsa rona. Ha ke re batswadi ke rata hore ke le amohele mona ward 1 warding ya councillor Msingata Mazibukwane. Mo councillor o itse ke motshwarele ka sheku hobaneng ha ayo. But I like to welcome all leaders, minister. You are welcome. Our leader, we know we have our leadership from region, deputy chairperson Yarona, ya region. Kikopa I am a lidumedisi kinana le mutse zone 1. Sihlomolile this time. Minister. This time as a Orange Farm, we are having one of ours. In the council mota. Next time I will feel like the really MMC. It's a hard. Yes, we are blessed. Minister Kikopa Udumedis Chava Sahao, Guarding to Sovatelan Lezon. I am Chapel Mato me. Yes. Where is that? Turkey, welcome all the leaders. Okay, I'm welcoming all sponsors. Our sponsors, can you stand up and say good morning to our community? All of you, because you are many. Yes. Yes. I'm welcoming you, a community. You are so beautiful. God loves you. Can you stand up with God loves me? Today I have a shelter. Today I have a land. It's a great pleasure. It's a great pleasure, leaders. It's a great pleasure to our community. There is a change. Always change is good. There is a change. ANC brings change. Our sponsors brings change. Our minister brings change to our community. This is a great pleasure. It's a great opportunity, my leader here. We thank you so much to see you here at Orange Farm. Some of people were Orange Farm really. But today we are happy to see leaders like you to come here celebrating our day, our heroes, Mandela's Day with you, with us. We are happy to see you coming here at Orange Farm. You are not taking us for granted. We are very, very happy. We are so special. Thank you very much. Without wasting any time.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for the councillor. This is our ward councillor, brand new from the box. I think 4 or 5 months ago when the local government elections took place. Without wasting time, let's ask the ED to come and tell us why we're here today. ED?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Program Director, Honorable Minister, the Ward Councillor, partners, ward colleagues, Head of Departments from the Department of Human Settlements, volunteers, members of the community, and everybody represented here. Good morning. Now, this is a big day for us as a people of South Africa as we commemorate the contributions of a great leader, Nelson Mandela. Habitat for Humanity has been in partnership with Nelson Mandela Foundation but most important, with the partnership, in partnership with the Orange Farm community for many, many years. We are happy that the Orange Farm community is hosting us here today. And for your information, we are doing the builds in the provinces of Gauteng here. We are also doing a build in KwaZulu-Natal. Today we are activating in Umbubulu, Zwelimbovu. We are also activating in Kailitia in Cape Town. So we take that as a blessing from God, and that is contribution from partners like the Old Mutual, through Old Mutual Foundation, the Netbank, Henko, and another organization by the name of OOBA, OOBA. Those are the partners that have made this possible. And I must also not forget a South African who lives in the US who has been supporting us for the last 5 years consistently every year. So we are honored to have individual contributions as well. We take our role as an organization as that of facilitators. We facilitate these kind of conversations. The reason why we take this very seriously for us is learning from Tata Nelson Mandela that it doesn't matter how long you have lived, is when you were alive, what did you do to your fellow human being? That is most important. And we appreciate that all you volunteers are here today because you want to touch lives. Housing is a very emotive issue, as we all know. And it's important for us as a development organization to be involved in that particular matter that brings people together. So when you are here, we know consciously, as an individual, you've decided to take part in housing conversation. We are very happy that 5 beneficiaries from this community in a few weeks' time will have a place to call home. When I walk around and hear people's stories, when the roofs are leaking, kids cannot study because their books got wet last night, or they have diseases because they slept in cold places. Those are hardening stories. These very difficult stories and conversations to have. On behalf of this organization, Habitat for Humanity International, that gentleman realized I'm too dark, and I needed to be seen. Thank you very much. On behalf of Habitat for Humanity, we appreciate this partnership that are happening today. I hope you can still see me. The partnership through the Old Mutual, the Netbank Foundation, the Henko, Uber, and other individuals are important. But I want to talk about an important partnership that has been with us for quite some time, and that is partnership with the government. We work very closely with government, Honorable Minister. Here we've seen the hand of the various government departments this week, NHBRC in particular. We've seen the hand of government in our work now. As you know, the KwaZulu-Natal people are struggling with shelter very, very much. And we've seen partners come on board. Partners like Old Mutual have been significant working with us. So we've seen that partnership with government being very strong and provided that conversation, that opportunity where organizations like us, as development of organization, can bring people together to have those serious conversations and to see what can each of us do. The management of those big organizations, Old Mutual, Netbank, Henko, we are very grateful to you because you're providing leadership in terms of demonstrating and encouraging your employees to get to the ground and learn the real things, the real housing difficulties that people deal with. There are some statistics that I want to share with you here. It's not in numbers, but something you possibly don't know and you take it for granted. A lot of people go without food overnight so that they can pay rent. So when you are in your office and you look at your employees, it is important as managers to think, where have they spent the night? Did they have shelter under their head? Because they would rather, nobody will know that they never ate something. You cannot see their stomach. But if they don't pay rent, they're going to be kicked out the next day. So where will the family be? So the shelter is very, very important and a fundamental contributor to the dignity of humankind. So when you are driving or wherever you are and you see somebody under the bridge, think what you can do for that person. And in your various roles where you are as senior managers, as leaders of the organization, community leaders, think what you can do. We are here as an organization to facilitate that conversation. And we are blessed that this is happening today. And we are grateful for the call to action, what we challenged by our leader, Nelson Mandela. And this week, although every day should be Nelson Mandela Day, this week should remind us all that there remains a lot to be done. At the onset of about 1994, the housing deficit stood at about 0.7. Today, that number is about 3 million. The government has done a lot, but government cannot do everything. So wherever we are, talk to us as an organization, talk to our partners that we work with, and let's see what solutions are. I want to speak to you about some program that we are talking about skilling up the youth and making them entrepreneurs, rather than just let them come and do the dagger and raise the bricks. But in terms of how we can attach this problem of housing, if we made young men business people and we allow them to employ, even if it's 2 people, that goes a long way. That program that we started is initially funded by the CETA, the construction CETA, and is also been funded by the Old Mutual Foundation, our partners here. So we're grateful for those kind of support, but wherever you are as an individual, think about what solutions you can give to the society. Talk to us, because we could be able to connect you with the right opportunity. Because you could have a skill, you could be a professional, you could be an accountant, you could be a lawyer or something. Sometimes the issues that people are struggling with even this weekend are issues to do with the title. A few people we could not support last week is because they have no titles. It costs money, but the process as well. So we appreciate government support, we appreciate the support from you all here, but there is an opportunity, there is much more to be done. With a deficit of 3 million, there's a lot to be done. And we look forward to that opportunity to partner with you. Thank you all. God bless you. See you again when mixing the dagger. When the house go up, we must be part of that process. Thank you for your time, everybody.
A big round of applause for the ED. Thank you very much, ED. I think you have said it mouthful. And as your strategic partner and under the auspice of the minister, we take your challenge with both hands. Now, Minister will give to the sponsors to give us messages of support. Somebody whispered, Minister, in my ear and said, the sponsors are going to recommit for next year. Double the amount of what they are contributing this year. When they finish their speeches, they will say, Minister, we commit for next year. You will just say, where, Minister, and then they will follow you. Let's now hand over to Sisfigile from the Old Mutual Foundation to give us their message of support. Let's give a big round of applause.
Good morning to you all. Good morning. I'm Figile Guhlase. I head up the Old Mutual Foundation. I'd like to greet the Honorable Minister and all my colleagues that are seated up front here. And can I just say, all protocol observed. We stand before you as Old Mutual, an old organization. We're 177 years old. The foundation I head up is just 23 years old. And so for us, being in this space that Cyrus has alluded to as housing being such an emotive space has really just been amazing. We are supported by a cohort of employee volunteers at Old Mutual and a lengthy partnership with Habitat for Humanity since this foundation was established 23 years ago. So our volunteers every year until COVID hit us. We're going out there and building houses with Habitat. We could have done more, Minister, but this makes it house number 140. I think as the private sector, we can do much more. But we also do, we also support the affordable housing space under our humanitarian pillar of the foundation. And in that space, we don't just do housing through our volunteers. We do much more. So actually, just on the 1st of July, I was with the Colin Mashawane Foundation. We were handing over 2 homes to KZN flood relief, flood victims. And so as we talk to you and your colleagues in your department, we are always asked by our board members, and maybe just before I forget, my chairperson is not here today. This is Dr. Linda Nkubenkomo. She is part of Trek for Mandela, and I am hoping that she has just summited Uhuru. She is on Mount Kilimanjaro with Selo Hadang, the CEO of Nelson Mandela Foundation, with Richard Mabaso of Imbumba Foundation, with Busiso Vilane, our great adventurer and mountaineer. And so also there, she's also carrying the flag around just uprooting the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide. And so as Cyrus spoke about, the other aspect that we support is the skilling aspect. Because Minister, when we were handing over last year some houses with Habitat for Humanity at Umbumbulu, firstly, we were touched by saying, we're not going to hand over just these empty structures. What does it mean moving someone from, you see the before and after pictures? And so we said, what do other corporates do? Because it just doesn't seem to make sense that we give over these empty shells. And we were told, no, you all hand over these empty shells. We were told so. So in private sector, we need to do better. We did the little that we could do. We gave basic furniture, we gave food, we gave blankets as well. And for us, as Old Mutual Foundation now, we don't ever want to hand over an empty shell, an empty structure. For us, it just does not make sense. So as we also are partnering with Habitat now with the Mandela House Bills, we are actually doing exactly that. We're handing over some basic furniture and some basic household. Thank you. So as I stand here, I'm also just challenging our other partners in the private sector that let's try to do more wherever we can, because it's important that they see one partner doing something and then they also step up to do the same. And so we also learn from each other as we go along. And I always say I'm a tough cookie, generally. I don't cry. I do a lot of projects. I mean, for instance, I leave on Wednesday for Lusikisiki because of the work we do, because Lusikisiki is termed the rape capital of South Africa. So we're working there with them under the gender-based violence program there. On Friday, we are with the matriculants in Lusikisiki because we're supporting them there. And what we always say when we talk to these matric learners, are you looking at what is happening in the housing space as well, as you are kind of contemplating what are you going to do when you complete your matric? And so for us, there's just so much more that we can do because of the other areas that we were involved in. And so it's really such a pleasure to be here, and we're looking forward to an extended partnership and looking to working much closer with government. And Minister, you did embarrass me at WEF because I got a call, and I was in KwaZulu-Natal with the many projects that were, and they said the boss is looking for you. Use WEF, she's about to meet the minister now. I was like, what have I done now? And I was made to account for what have you done with human settlements? I was like, how? But Maserami, we do so much. We work through Habitat for Humanity. We work through others. And she was like, you need to get closer. We need an MOU with them. And so that is outstanding from our side. And I am to blame for that at this point. And I'm hoping you'll assist us, Minister. And so thank you very much, Cyrus and all.
Aibo, i-commitment engaka ningayiqhobela izandla. That was a huge commitment. 2 houses will be finished. Thank you, Old Mutual. Fortunately, Minister, the MOUs are in my department. I'm assigned to oversee through the DDG the MOUs. Minister, I assure you, before the end of this month, it will come crawling into your desk to say that this is the MOU between ourselves and Old Mutual. Clap for us. If that does not happen, Minister, the acting DG is here in the Udlilum Sevens. I will be very close to Sisfikle. Thank you very much. Minister, if you think Old Mutual was really boasting about what they will be doing to their houses, wait up until you see Nedbank. Nedbank, you can't be outshined. You can't be outshined like this, Nedbank. I know you. I'm not going to say where I know you from. I know you. You can't be outshined like this. Just 2 houses. You are sponsoring 3 houses.
No pressure, no pressure. Thank you so much, Minister, officials from the department agencies of Team Human Settlements and their leadership, our Old Mutual, Henkel and Uber partners, Habitat for Humanity leadership and volunteers, the local councillors and the regional political leadership, volunteers from other partners, and especially those from the bank that helps you make wise money decisions and takes your money seriously. Halala, Nedbank, halala. Let me take the opportunity really to apologize for the executive head of the Nedbank Foundation, Dade Pillay. We are definitely spread out through the country, Kubayi. My name is Gauteng Mogase. I'm the Public Affairs Manager at Nedbank. And Dade, this is a decade-long partnership that we have with Habitat for Humanity, and we will continue in that vein. You'll remember that we were there last year. In Tshwane, we've had visibility across all provinces, and we continue to do so. This is a partnership that has actually now allowed us to move into the ablution space in terms of schools, and so that's what we're doing as part of the work we do with Habitat for Humanity. And we were helping in Tshwane, in Garankuwa last year with other partners to build homes with Habitat, and we definitely, I think Minister was referring to it as well a time ago. We earned our stripes in terms of daga making and bricklaying. So there are some certificates that are due to us volunteers. We continue in that fashion. But Minister, di kamano tse tshwanang le tse di bohlokwa haholo ho rona. Jwalo ka lekgotla le tshwarang ditjhelete tsa batho. We believe that as a purpose-led organization, we have to use our financial expertise to do good. In the same way that Utadu Nelson Mandela used his political and legal expertise to do good for humanity. So all of us have a part to play, and we are definitely ready, Mhlagas, to play that part. We have many volunteers who have chosen projects across the country today, and this has been encouraged from our group CEO and the entire leadership. And we're actually here today to live out the purpose of the organization. To be short, let me close with a quote from Utadu Rolihlahla, where he says, and I quote, "I'm fundamentally an optimist. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed above the sun, one's feet moving forward. There were many dark moments where my faith in humanity was sorely tested, but I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays defeat and death." Close quote. And so our partnership is a partnership for optimism. It's a partnership for humanity. It's a partnership for purpose. Thank you so much.
Nedbank, ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause. By the way, Nedbank is sponsoring 3 houses. They are giving us 3 homes. Another round of applause. Unfortunately, Minister, we do not have a representative from Henkel, although there are workers here, but nobody wants to come forward and talk. They say they were not assigned to. They are scared of this commitment made by Old Mutual. You are scaring people, Old Mutual. Thank you very much. Without wasting any time, and I think it is about time now that we try by all means, because the volunteers, Minister, they just want to go on site. They say they don't want to come here and waste time. Can we give us so that you can address us and all of us? Big round of applause for the Minister.
Thank you very much, Program Director Vusi, for doing a wonderful job. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Oh, that's good. Let me acknowledge the chairperson and the executive director. It's chairperson or chairman of the board. I see it's written chairman. Oh, I must say chairman, not chairperson. Chairman of the board, Mr. Khotlabansi, executive director, Sarah Swatuku, who are both from the Habitat for Humanity, South Africa. Acknowledge Sisfigile from All Mutual. We did, yeah. I was telling them that I can't spend 2 billion on rebuilding KZN, and corporates come with 1 million. So they must match what we are putting on, because these are your beneficiaries. These are people who are investing their policies. So that's why I was saying to them. That's why they called you immediately. So I'm still looking forward. We still have a long way. Sarah will tell you when he was in the meeting. We still have a long way to go. So we do need all the hands on deck to really recover KZ, and we still have quite a lot of work to do there. Acknowledging from Nedbank, we've got Katlego Mohasi. Lena wa tseba ro ngolota. So ke tla bina pina ile e reng Romeo wa ngolota. So Nedbank, we've talked several times, but I think I'm happy to see you here, Katlego. And part of the work that we need to do as partnership between ourselves as government and private sector, there is a lot of work that we have in our hands, especially in the space. So I hear the executive director was telling me that you are also looking into what we call the missing middle. So I'm going to get to talk as well to our NHFC entity so that we can consolidate and work better, because that's one of the areas in terms of our social housing. There's quite a lot of opportunities that we need to do. So thank you very much. Let me acknowledge my councillor, Oswaka, Osjinet. You see, Orange Farm has a special place to me. Let me acknowledge everybody, and I'll tell you why this is important. And maybe because I wanted to acknowledge the Deputy Chair of the ANC, Ntate Mota. We grew up together. So that's why I'll come to why this area as well, because I'm a child initially. I know many of you know me as a Soweto girl, but there was a time where my family moved to Purki. Informal settlements is not very far from here. So it's linked to Orange Farm. And that's how we know each other. I was still in high school. That's why I did my matric. I still go back to that school to contribute very much in terms of my work. But I'll come to that quickly into that one. Acknowledging my deputy chairperson of the HDA board, Marina Dumagude, the CEO of HDA, Mr. Kandisa, the department team led by the acting director general, Sindisiwe Ngongo. I think I've acknowledged all ward councillors, committee members, leaders. I saw quite various leaders. But more importantly, I want to acknowledge you as volunteers who are going to be part of this work under Habitat for Humanity and the Nelson Mandela Foundation, but also as part of just recognizing what Tata stood for. And maybe reminding ourselves that today the theme that we're celebrating says very simple: do what you can with what you have where you are. Do what you can with what you have and where you are. So most of the time what we forget as South Africans, what we have is our hands, our ability, ourselves to give to the next person. It's not necessarily most of the time about money. This day when we talk about it, it's about humanity. Reminding ourselves of being human beings. That it's inhuman to sit here and not think about the next person. So that's what is important. And acknowledging Ubabusisa, Msiza, who does a fantastic job in terms of contributing to this community. I was sharing. He brings various government departments, private sector. They come here and share information to young people in Orange Farm about opportunities. And this actually gives hope to these young people. Because most of the time, the kids who come from these areas, as the executive director Saras was saying, they come from poor communities, poor households where families, sometimes there's no one who's working. So surfing the net is a luxury to find information. They'll have to go to offices of the councillor to ask for information. They go to PCOs, whatever office that exists. But within their households, there's no availability of information for the opportunities. So when they go to school, that's why even issues around career guidance, choosing the right courses, it's difficult. Even knowing the opportunities that exist when they pass matric, it's difficult. That's why some of those platforms are very critical, and our availability and our information coming to the communities here, Orange Farm, to be able to help. One of the things, Councillor, we say, people sometimes don't want to come here because it's dusty streets. That's what we have the responsibility to do, to building better communities so that the children who are coming out of Orange Farm can have better opportunities, playgrounds, access to opportunities, tailoring, they are helping them. Early childhood development centers, it's very important. I want to thank the partners who have made this community a priority. There's a lot of work we have done as government, obviously, but there's still more to build. If you know where we come from with Orange Farm, you know that over years, Orange Farm started very small. It has been growing. It's one of the areas that started after 1994. And more houses have been built, more complexes have been. We've been trying to do sports centers. We've been trying to do community halls. You can see its expansion, but there's still a lot of work to be done amongst communities. I was in Zandspruit this morning, handing over a house to a senior citizen. In the process, he says, I didn't think that I was going to get it. He's been waiting. We went, we put a slab, we left since 2010. And these are many stories that exist. But because government in its own ability, whether we talk about the capacity of the state to be able to deliver, but also in terms of the human resources and financial resources, sometimes we find ourselves very difficult to meet the demands of the communities. And hence we appreciate these partnerships because we are able to reach where we can't. You might think Sisfikile House 104 doesn't mean much, but to us, and to me as a minister, with the budget that I have, 104 houses means a lot. Because each day, and especially because I've paid attention, you pay attention to the, especially around the senior citizens, the child-headed households. With the environment in a country where GBV, it's another pandemic. Protection of child-headed household children, especially a girl child, it's a priority for us. First thing is to give them a shelter where they can be protected so that they are not vulnerable. But unless as well we are able to support these children who are growing up in these communities, they would not have a better future. Growing up in an informal settlement in a what do they call this thing? Corrugated irons. At night, when it's winter, it's cold. When it's summer, it's extremely hot. When it's rainy, the water comes in. The children can't study. So you can't even say they have equal opportunities to become something better because their education is derailed. So the work around eradication of informal settlement, not only because it's a housing need, but as part of building a better future, especially for young people, it's important. So that's why the work that you are doing here is highly, highly appreciated. And I'm looking forward to more partnership. I'm looking forward for us to be able to bring more partners. And I want to call more corporate, private sectors. Can we do more to help and support the Human Settlement Department? We are willing to partner, as Vusi says, one person that opens the door will meet the no. I knock at doors as well so that we can be able to do. That's what Tata Mandela said to us. Because sometimes we sit here as leaders and we do see this, you know, when I look at human settlement, I'm reminded of the quote by Tata Madiba to say, as you are climbing a great hill, you think that I've made it, only to find that there's another one to climb. That's human settlements. As we deal with informal settlements, we deal with people who do not have title deeds, as you were talking. Each time there's a mountain that we must climb. As government, we can't climb that mountain alone. We need you as private sector to climb with us. We need you as various organizations, UN organizations, international organizations. But we need you as volunteers, as South Africans, to say, not only during Mandela Day, but I will commit to say, I've got this skill. I'm going to help so that we can build better communities. So for me, I want to thank you as those who have joined today and this week. As we build for these families, the 5 families, we will walk through, go see them. But we are building for 5 families today. But let's remember there are many others across the country who are looking for. As government, we will do our best, and more importantly, those who have been affected by the floods. As Tata Madiba said, let us give hope. We give hope by showing that we care. Let us remember that it takes a village, it takes a community to raise a child. Let's go back to Ubuntu and think about these child-headed households, think about our elderly, and look after them and protect them. As society, as we commemorate the life and time of what Tata Madiba gave to us. That's all what he's asking. Wherever he is, will smile down on us and look at our country. It will take us as individuals, as South Africans, to say, Tata Madiba, we are following on your steps, and what we are giving is that hope you gave us before. We were hopeless as South Africa at some point, didn't think that we'll have these opportunities and this country that we have, and the democracy that we have. But we have passed that stage. Today, it's about people holding on, battling with poverty, battling with inequality, battling with unemployment, and all they are saying, we're just looking for just that tiny light that says today, tomorrow will be better than today. Thank you very much, Program Director.
You can't stop because my salary depends on your hands. You're clapping for my salary now. Thank you very much. Minister, everybody that came here, they boasted about what they've done for Orange Farm. Today is the Mandela Day. Can you give me 1 second to do the same? 3 streets up this road, in 2001, Minister, I built a studio at the amount of 1 million. I used to work for Love Life in the Love Life Y Center, and then I trained about 128 young people on radio. Clap for me. In 2002, Minister, I was the program director here in Orange Farm at that studio. There was Utatu Nelson Mandela, there was Utatu Bill Clinton, there was Melinda and Belinda Gates. They were there. I was the program director. So all of us, we have contributed towards the Orange Farm. We are the sons of Orange Farm. Umsiza knows. He must. Jealous, my daughter. Yeah. Thank you very much, Minister. Now it is about time to give Mama Tumakode a vote of thanks. But before that, what we are going to do from here, The volunteers will quickly go to their stations. Your managers are going to quickly get you so that you can go to where you're supposed to be, so that when the minister and the entourage arrives, you are there, you welcome them, and then they will be interacting with the family. We know the sites are too small. Please, let's give each other a chance so that we can be able to do whatever. Today, Minister, half of today is more for the startup of the project, and then the real work is starting tomorrow. But we are going to start from these sites, from this side. When you go down this road, there is house number 1, Yagagogo, and there is house number 2 next door. And then we go around to house number 3, number 4. And then the last house, on this street, this side. This is where we'll be doing the actual work, Abu Minister. But you are going to stay where you are, volunteers. If you are number 1, you are going to stay there. Only the minister and the entourage will make a round. And then after that, you will go for your lunch. Your lunch will be brought to where you are so that you can continue with the good work that you are doing. A big round of applause for the volunteers. Mamutu Magode, please thank us. Start with the program director.
Yeah. Program director, where I start also determines my salary. So I have to be careful about that. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Mine is a very simple one, to give a vote of thanks to everybody that has been involved in this process and in this initiative. So I will start by thanking our Honorable Minister, Ms. Kubayi, and the Human Settlements team at large. I recognize as people from national as well as from the province and from my entities. So we do want to thank you for your involvement and in supporting this initiative. I'd like to thank Habitat for Humanity SA, represented by Mr. Cyrus Watuku. Also, the same organization, thanking the chairman of the board, Mr. Kotla Banzi. Also thanking Old Mutual Foundation, represented by Ms. Fikile Kuhlasi. And would also like to thank Old Mutual Foundation as well, represented by Ms. Tabi Zengiwe. Would also like to thank Nedbank Foundation, represented by Mr. Puvi Pulei. Also, I'd like to thank the local leadership. I would like to thank the regional leader and Tata Mota, as well as our councillor, Ms. Janet. So in closing, we are thanking everybody who has done what they can with what they have, where they are. So lastly, we do want to thank our volunteers. And I am noting with how do I say, excitement, that your volunteers are predominantly ladies. So for me, I'd like to thank, I think the local leadership, as you were selecting, by giving women the opportunity to be empowered. Because I think part of what we see in various places when houses are being given, the contractor will come and do the work. But in this case, we are giving an opportunity to our local people to actually gain the knowledge and the skills to build houses. So from here onwards, they already know what to do. There's opportunities out there for them to upskill themselves and to look for opportunities to be sustaining themselves. We are human settlements and we build sustainable human settlements. So part of this is to be creating sustainability in this. So to all our stakeholders, we opened with a prayer. I am not going to pray, but I'm going to just say the word of the Lord says, blessed is the hand that giveth, more than that receiveth. So we do want to bestow a blessing upon you, that as you have given to this community, may it be that you will give to a whole lot of more others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Chairperson. Minister, I'll now hand over to the guy. Unfortunately, Minister, there are people who are working behind the scenes. During the day, there's the show horses, like us and me and you, Minister, and others. And then the guy that has made it all, Mdu, from Habitat Humanity. He's the guy that glued all of us the whole 3 weeks, the guy that has been taking all the headache from all directions. He's the guy that is responsible, the site establishment and everything. Mdu will just give us the marching orders, what to do from here. Thank you, Mdu. You will lead us.
I'm okay here. I'm okay here. Guys, do you remember me? Nedbank, do you remember me? Nedbank! Old Mutual! Just forget. I know there are three. I know there are three, but they can scream better. Old Mutual! Guys, I tried to teach you before the minister arrived. Now you're saying yebo. As you are disappointing me. So we have 5 sites. We have 5 groups. From here, it's a norm. We're going to go outside. We're going to do a Hartley. We're going to tell Orange Farm that we have arrived. We are going to tell Orange Farm that you are here. We are going to tell Orange Farm that by the end of the week, there will be 5 families that will have a better roof on their head. We are going to do that. It's a norm. It's a norm. Just to say, Orange Farm, we are here. So from here, we will then divide ourselves according to the houses. We have 5 houses, so different 5 volunteers will go to each and every house. Minister and delegate will start from Umama Anna. Where are my beneficiaries? Baphi abanikazi bemizi? Ngicela nize ngala. Okay, these are our 5 beneficiaries. I know he's representing his mom, so I had to make a very difficult decision yesterday when she came to me and said, do I go to work or do I come? I was like, can I think about it? She was standing, look at me. I'm like, okay, go to work. I've seen your guy. I've seen your son. He's a very responsible one. So you go to work, we will manage. So these are the 5 beneficiaries that we're building for. So we have a group of 10. From the 10, we are now going to start with these ones that we are building this week. The next 5 will follow. So, okay, how is this thing? Okay, it's standing like this. 1, 2, no. Okay, Ozangala. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start from here, we end here. Right? Yes. I have another 5 people that I need to see. Crew leaders, where are you? Please come. You hold your beneficiary. So what we have done, because we are visitors in Orange Farm, we have then recruited 17 of the local guys that every time we host an event here, they will be our partners. They will be leading all our event. Okay. So the first one here, this is Old Mutual. Bring it. Oh, wait. Oh, this. Upwala. Upkrulita wala. Upkrulita se Old Mutual. Okay. Okay, so we have Old Mutual. Where is Henkan? Henkan. So the rest, it's Netbank, right? The rest is Netbank. So, as these are the guys that will be leading you to sites. But as we get outside, I know that Netbank, Old Mutual has 3 individuals. So that is why we have said, listen, we have manpower. We have brought our friends, friends to help you. I know you're going to pay them, So as we go outside, these are the guys that will be leading us. But before we go to our side, we are going to go outside. We do a circle. We hardly. From there, you see your partner. We move into groups. We then mix you with the rest of other groups. Then we go to our side. So our sites are messy. Are very messy. Before we start working, we need to do the housekeeping, right? So we'll do our housekeeping. As soon as we finish our housekeeping, we go to lunch. I'm almost certain that when we are done with the housekeeping, the minister will be there already. You mingle with the minister. Ne? Tell your wishes. If you're still living in a shack, tell her. Tell her. Right? So, thank you so much. Can we, all my volunteers, let's meet outside for a Hartley. Then after that, we'll all go to different sites.